Coin Talk community. My name is Noah. This is the third AMA and the final AMA of the day. We are doing a discussion with Parabolic Token, joined here by Mark. Mark, before we get started, do you want to give us a quick background of who you are and how you got to be in the crypto space today?
Sure, yeah, no worries. So I started in crypto around about 2013. I used to mine tokens. I was one of those crazy guys with all the graphics cards, mining all these script coins, with all the air conditioning units and big electric bills. That was me. I did that for a couple of years. I got out in 2015 because it just became a bit unprofitable and it was costing too much and it was too much hassle, and all the ASICs were coming out around about then, and it was just, it just kind of, obviously it was just before the bull run 2 years later, but there you go. That's never mind. When I left that, I set up my own business running weddings and events. So I used to organise small music festivals and run mobile bars at weddings, employed about 60 staff. When COVID came around in 2020, that pretty much brought my businesses to a close and ended up going bankrupt. So I started trading again, and I became pretty successful with trading, picking up some great coins like CRO at 8 cents and all the rest of it, and just buying, selling, trading, and investing. And that kind of got me to thinking about where coins came from. So I looked into it, started learning a bit of Solidity, and I launched my first token in June 2021, which was mymusic.finance. If anyone wants to go and check that out, has got a lot more about background on me and all that kind of stuff for those of you who want to know a bit more about my history. So when we launched that in June 2021, it peaked about 58k market cap, dropped down to $32,000 market cap, and over the period of time that followed, the sort of 3 to 6 months, I managed to grow it to 1.8 million market cap. From that point, I've never really looked back. So that's my background. Hello? Anybody there?
I can hear you.
Okay, that's good. It's just the host that's disappeared.
That's weird. Okay, so my mic said green, but I guess I was not audible for whatever reason. It does that sometimes. I was talking up a storm. So you guys are building a 4-token ecosystem. That's very cool, and I want to talk more about that in a bit. But before we get going, tell us specifically about Parabolic Token. Tell us about the play to earn game that you're building, how it works, what makes it super addictive. Let's get into the nuts and bolts of things.
All right, well, let me just give you a bit of history about Parabolic first. So Parabolic is something that's been in the works for over a year now. The initial idea actually came around even before I launched my music. So it's something that's been at the back of my mind for quite a long time. It's actually, we launched the original token in October 2021. It was a phenomenal launch. We did about, I think it was 10 or 11x on the coin. And there were a lot of people that made a lot of money out of it. So some of you lot listening might even remember it. That was October last year. Since the launch, we've been really, really busy focusing on building the game, getting ready for what we're about to do. And during that time, pretty much most of the people just stopped holding the token. You know what it's like in the development phase when you're actually busy doing the nuts and bolts and actually building the project. Everyone's selling their tokens and leaving. So that's pretty much what happened to Parabolic. It was about $11.5 million market cap at its peak, and by the time I think its lowest was about 680k. And just before we paused the contract 3 weeks ago, it was about 950,000 market cap. What we've got in terms of existing holders of the coin are nothing but pure diamond hands. They've migrated their tokens over. They can choose. We've got a tool on our website. They can migrate over to any network they want. But it's evident that they're diamond hands by the fact that pretty much over 50% of them have actually staked all their tokens, because we have staking protocols live already. And they've staked their tokens and locked them up for 6 months. So, I think there's about 200 and something holders that have migrated over, 220, 230 holders, and over half of them are staked. So that's kind of, the old coin and the history of it. But what are we doing now? What's special? What's coming up? So, for a start, we're launching multi-chain, and we're doing it with incredible achievement. Actually, we've managed to set it so that we have the same contract address across 5 different networks. So we're going to be launching in one night on Ethereum, Binance, AVAX, Matic, and Phantom. That's the same contract address across all chains, and we're going to have a cross-chain bridge, which enables people to zap their tokens from chain to chain, really, really, really easy and fast. We've been working with an amazing contract dev called Utku from Daprex. He's quite well known in the space as well. And what he's built for us is just absolutely amazing. We're really, really happy with it. So that's one thing that's going to be happening. 2 days, that's the 21st, I should say, at 2200 hours. That's when we launch the coin. We're going to start off with BSC. 5 minutes later, we'll launch Ethereum. 5 minutes later, we'll launch AVAX. 5 minutes later, and so on, up until half past the hour when we put the bridge online. That's going to create a lot of exciting action, which we can perhaps talk about a little later. But then the game, which we've been working on all this time, is a we called it a crash game on version 1, but it's actually so much more than a crash game. It's a launch simulation game, basically. So we are simulating what a cryptocurrency coin launch looks like, that first 3 hours of a launch, and we're compressing it into 90 seconds of high-packed, high-octane fun. Our chart, our game is designed to look like a trading chart. It looks like PooCoin, basically. And our chart will go up, and it will go down, and it will go up, and it will go down. It's not like a crash game where you kind of see the multiplier just kind of increase, and then crash, right, and go. It actually looks like a trading chart. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. And that's one thing that makes it unique. Another thing that makes the game unique is we have mid-game cash outs. So there's a feature in our game where you can cash out 25%, 50%, 75%, or 100% of your initial stake. So at the beginning of the round, you place your bet. Let's say you put 100 chips on, 100 parabolic, and the round's going and you see the chart go up to a ×2. You can then hit 50% cash out, and you've taken out your initial, and then you're riding a moon bag of 100 chips. And you can gamble that, which might go, ×50, ×20, and the top of the range is ×500 jackpot, which will trigger every now and again as well. So it's a really, really exciting, really engaging game, and it's all based around crypto launches. And the concept is you've got to cash out your money before the chart rug pulls, and it's a lot of fun. It's really, really addictive. Another thing that makes our game unique, and how does our game benefit all holders? Well, it benefits all holders because of the unique burn feature that we've got attached to it. So basically, the house edge, so the money that the game makes from all the people that lose and don't cash out in time, 50% of that house edge stays in the game for game liquidity. So that's to ensure that we can pay people out that do win. And the other 50% is burnt. Now, when I say burnt, it's not burnt in the traditional way that you might think, where a lot of people just send it to a dead address and remove it from circulation. Whilst that does increase the scarcity of the coin, it doesn't really do much for the coin's value. So the way our burn works is we actually completely obliterate it from supply. So if you're looking at PooCoin and you look at the total supply, you will actually see it go down. And basically that decreases the liquidity to market cap ratio, which in effect means that, let's turn around and say you've got whatever your coins are worth at a $10 million market cap, and it dips down again, and then we do some burns. The next time it gets to $10 million market cap, those coins will be worth more in respect of the market cap because we're decreasing the liquidity to market cap ratio. That burn actually also reduces the impact of any sells on charts, further protecting your investment. So the value of your coins are increasing in respect to the market cap, and we're protecting your investment by reducing the impact of sells by tightening up that liquidity to market cap ratio the more people play the game. Now, that burn feature that we've got is actually also present on transactions as well. So for every buy and sell transaction, we have a 3% tax that burns tokens in the same way. Now, if you can imagine, okay, how this multi-chain launch is going to work. So let's turn around and say the Ethereum price is a $15 million market cap. Binance is an $8 million market cap. So what's going to happen? Everyone's going to quickly port their tokens over to Ethereum, and they're going to sell on the Ethereum chart. Okay, and then you might find the AVAX shoots up. So people will be moving around. We're going to have so much volume because people can arbitrage and they can port tokens around and they can buy and sell, that it's going to completely obliterate the supply in a matter of no time. Combine that with the action of the game, that every single time someone loses is burning 50% of the house edge. What you're going to see is a supply rapidly reducing, a liquidity to market cap ratio rapidly tightening. We feel that we've got something pretty unique here. Another thing that we've set up with Parabolic is, like I did mention earlier, we have our staking protocols online. So people holding Parabolic can make up to 75% APY on their tokens. That's an incentive for all the existing holders that are holding from version 1, like I said, of which it's only really diamond hands, and also an incentive for people that might win the game. You know, they might win some money, and they just want to stake it and make even more. We have also, guys, just to say before I forget, because I always forget when I'm talking through this this intro and background of the game, we have a Glean competition running at the moment where you guys can win $1,000 worth of Parabolic. And there's one grand prize at 1,000, and there's 100 runner-up places that win a $10 worth, $10 worth. And if you're lucky enough to win $10 worth, you can play the game with it, maybe get yourself 100x and make yourself some decent money out of that. Right. In terms of marketing, do you want me to go on? Is that okay to continue, or did you want me to stop there?
Yeah, please go for it. This is your hour.
Okay.
Yep.
Brilliant. Okay, so in terms of marketing, we've already spent 6 figures on marketing. We've got insane things going on at the moment. I mean, just the AMA schedule. So just to let you know, yesterday we did Caesar's Calls, Crypto Pickles. We've done DeFi Talk. We're doing Whale Coin Talk now with you guys. Tomorrow we've got Golem's Gems, Rug Free House, Venom's Calls. We've got Travlad. We've got Satoshi Street Bets. I mean, we are putting this message out there and trying to get to as many people as possible. So we've got the AMA schedule sorted. We've had an article on Cointelegraph. You know, we've got an articles on 500 other crypto news sites. We're absolutely smashing it all over the place in terms of marketing. And we have formed, through my music and everything, some relationships with some really good influencers, people like Crypto Wendy O, who's actually promoted my music and things like that. So we've got, we're set, we're in the position to be able to, you know, make great things happen. And I also want to add on marketing, we are already right now listed on CMC with the new contract on all 5 chains before we even launch, guys. It's there, sat there. You can go and check it out on CMC right now. And you can also see all the articles about Parabolic in the news. We've got a lot of hype around this coin. A lot of people made a lot of money when this launched back last year. And the hype is real. It's there. There's lots of people joining our Telegram every day. Lots of investors. I mean, there's 529 people sat here in this AMA right now, listening to what we've got to say. So we feel that the interest is really, really strong. In terms of future development, I will touch on this briefly, but effectively, because you did mention about the ecosystem, what Parabolic is going to be in the end is a fully fledged casino inside our metaverse, which we're building in conjunction with another project. The Parabolic is basically one coin of a 4-coin ecosystem that's all going to be tied together in a metaverse that we're building. So Parabolic, there'll be a Parabolic casino in there. There'll be many, many different games in there. And this is just one. We want to, as Parabolic, become the leader in DeFi gaming. That is our aim. It's a big ambition. We believe that, you know, we've been around in this space now building coins for a year, which in DeFi and BSC seems like forever. And we've learned so much, and we're continuing to learn. And, you know, we have the determination to succeed and achieve all our goals. And, you know, we've been around and we're staying around and we're still here. So we're hoping, you know, and we will achieve our end goals in the end. So there's a lot more to come for Parabolic. So that's an overview of the history of the coin and what's coming up in the next couple of days. I don't really know what else to say at this point.
Yeah, no, and I certainly appreciate that stream of thought. You were able to answer quite a few of my questions that I had written down. What I would do here is probably go back and ask you a bit more specific questions about everything you've discussed so far. So you gave a pretty thorough breakdown of how the game works. I'm getting the idea that it's sort of like a musical chairs type game where last man standing, last one to pull out before it crashes wins. As far as the wagering, and correct me if I'm wrong, by the way, but as far as the wagering and the gambling goes, is there a minimum or maximum amount that each player can gamble at a time?
Not at the moment, no. Although we're just about to tomorrow going to do some maths and look at what liquidity, the in-game liquidity is, and make sure that no one can bet any amount that's being stored in the game liquidity, if that makes sense. So there is probably going to be a max bet limit, but there will not be a minimum. Well, I say there won't be a minimum, 1 token. You won't be able to bet decimals of a token. But
Sure.
from 1 token minimum, there will be a maximum, which will be determined by the amount of game liquidity that we're holding. And in terms, you say like a musical chairs thing, I think more of a crash game. We've all seen those games, right, where you see a rocket going up in the air and you see the multiplier and you have to press cash out before it crashes. Think of it like that, but then also think of a BSC launch. Think of PooCoin chart. It moves up and down. It moves up and down. You can cash out mid-game. So it's not quite like last person to cash out loses, because you can cash out halfway through the round. So it's unique. There's nothing else like it. There's been nothing like it, and there is nothing like it. We like to do things differently and be original. So yeah, it's not like musical chairs, but I kind of know where you're going with that train of thought, but it's not quite there.
Got it. And is this something that's currently available for us to play?
Not currently available. No, there is a demo though. I think we can probably share a demo video in your group. Maybe someone can. I don't know if there's a thread, or someone can DM you. Either Debbie or Jedic, if they're in here listening, can send you a demo link, and we can also send you that Gleam link to that competition, so you can share it. There is a little demo video out of the game already.
Yeah, certainly. If someone wants to send me a demo of the game, I can share it in the main chat.
Yeah, that'd be good. It's just a video of gameplay, so you can see exactly what it's like, and it will make a lot more sense to you then.
And what will be the main differences between version 1 and version 2 of the Crash game?
Okay, well, version 2, we want to introduce a lot more kind of player versus PvP elements, basically, where we can do like tournaments and different things. And you know, we were just talking in the previous AMA, it seems some guy gave us a good idea about having, you know, special bonuses that might trigger when certain chart patterns are forming. So obviously it's completely random, but randomly chart patterns could form, and that could trigger some kind of bonus and things. Just better graphics, make it a bit more exciting, a bit more interactive. Do the player versus player elements and things like that. So and obviously fix any issues that might come up in version 1. Like some people might say, oh, it's really great, but this would be great if it's like that. You know, take some customer feedback on and just improve on what we already have, basically.
That's great. And you went over the high-level overview of the tokenomics, and you explained how the token is deflationary. Is it mainly that burn mechanism that makes the token deflationary, or are there actual burn mechanisms within the games that you're building that users can also use your tokens for that will cause a deflationary a trend?
Yeah, both. So like I said, the game, so the house edge of the game, every single time someone plays the game and loses, 50% of their loss is automatically burnt. So the game has a deflationary burn mechanism as well as the transaction tokenomics. So there's kind of two. We feel, and bearing in mind we're on 5 chains, okay? Now, another thing I should say is all 5 chains are sharing the same supply. So this is where it gets even more interesting. So you've got 5 chains that, whilst working independently from other, will be arbitraged with our bridge where people are zapping tokens. It's all one supply. So if we end up burning 50 billion tokens on Ethereum, it doesn't matter where they're burnt, because our total supply, they get burnt from other networks, you see. So when you move from one to the other, they burn them off one network and mint them on the other. That's kind of how it works. It's kind of a burn mint bridge. And obviously, as the supply gets reduced, it gets reduced across all chains. So it's going to be really, really interesting. I think the supply is going to get absolutely pulverized, to be honest, with the action that we anticipate the multi-chain bridge is going to bring with regard to people trying to arbitrage and trade, coupled with the burn mechanism on the game. I think, you know, the supplies, I mean, I would hate to predict exactly where it's going to go, but I think it's going to be pulverized, absolutely obliterated.
And how often are you guys expecting there to be price discrepancies between each respective chain?
Constantly. But that's one of the great things about it. So, you know, that's why we've got the bridge on our website. So you're going to be able to port your tokens. It's basically going to be like a human arbitrage, right? It's people. It's going to be a people-powered bridge that's going to keep the prices balanced. So if someone sees an opportunity where they can flip their tokens from BSC to Ethereum, sell them, cover the gas, and make a couple of quid, people will do it. Okay, it's just human nature. We see an opportunity to make a few quid just by, transferring something over and selling it, we will. But every single time someone does that, it will affect one of the other charts. So what you're going to end up doing is it's going to create a finely balanced thing, and you're going to find that all the charts are roughly about the same eventually when it balances out. And there'll be spikes in certain areas, which will then cause the arbitrage, the people-powered arbitrage, to kick in and then nip over there and sell a few tokens and kind of balance it all out. So because of that, we believe that the tokens are going to be fairly balanced. But initially at launch, it's going to be wild. It's going to be wild probably for a few days. It's going to be mad action. If you like mad action and you like volatility and you like ups and downs and the chance to swing trade and everything, if you're a swing trader, you are not going to want to miss this launch, because it's going to be wild. And that's a fact. That's something I can pretty much guarantee.
And what's that? What centralized exchanges do you guys have in the pipeline?
I'm not allowed to actually say until the contract's signed, unfortunately, but I can tell you that if you look at Mind Music, we've already got 2 already listed, which might give you some clues. And we are working on another one, which is absolutely huge. I just can't say till it's, I've learnt my lesson in the past from saying things that were in the pipeline that ended up falling through at the last minute. So I don't say anything about anything until it happens. All I'm telling you is we are going on a centralized exchange. You have to wait and see. But it'll be about 7 to 10 days after the game's launched. We'll be live. But if you go and have a look at mindmusic.finance, check out that project. You can see what centralized exchanges that's listed on, and it might give you some clues.
That's fair. Which chain do you anticipate most of your activity happening on?
This is it, you see. Well, obviously, the initial holders were all Binance. Okay, but however, I know that a lot of our whales, when we launched it, people that were coming in and buying 50 grand's worth and all the craziness that happened when we launched it, were ETH people. So I think there's going to be a bit of craziness between ETH and Binance. However, ultimately, whatever happens, it's going to create activity on all the chains, right? Because let's turn around and say Binance is the busiest chain and it shoots up and does a 15x. Well, then the way we're launching it, right? So just imagine this. We've got 5-minute delay between each launch. So we launch Binance and it does a 10x. Let's say it goes absolutely bonkers. It does a 10x. Well, then a few minutes later, we're launching Ethereum, right? And everybody knows that they can buy that Ethereum token, send it straight to Binance, and cash out 15x. So you've got a coin that's about to launch, which is a guaranteed 15x. So what do you think that's going to do? Everyone's going to pile into Ethereum, right? And just buy, because it's a guaranteed 15x. And then 5 minutes later, we're launching AVAX, and everyone's going to pile into it. So you could just kind of see this parabolic build-up. So you could get a 10x on there, then a 15x, and whatever the highest multiplier is, all the other coins are guaranteed to at least do that, because people can port over and swap. So everyone's going to buy up to the highest all the time. And the beauty of it is, with the bridge, your tokens are always going to be worth whatever the value of the highest chain is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
Yeah.
I was curious to know how it's a guaranteed 15x or how it's a guaranteed 10x.
Okay, so if Binance Smart Chain, let's just say, has gone up 10x. Okay, so we've launched Binance Smart Chain first, and Binance has done a 10x. Well, Ethereum's launched, and the price of Ethereum at launch is still the same price that Binance was before it did a 10x, right? So you can go in at launch and you can buy your Ethereum tokens at that price before it does a 10x, send them to Binance and sell them for that 10x gain.
I see.
You see what I mean? Yeah. So it's arbitraging. It's basically arbitraging. You're going to see, Binance is going to be high, but all the coins are starting at the same launch price. That's probably what's confusing you. I said they're all starting at the same launch price. So one does a 10x and the next one launches. Well, you can buy the next one, port it over to the other one and sell it on that one, and so on. And it's just going to keep going. But the way we've set it up for launch, this is why it's going to be really, really wild, is it's every 5 minutes, and then half past the hour, the bridge goes online. So the bridge doesn't even go online straight away. So it's going to be completely wild when the bridge goes online. People are going to be chopping stuff over and it's going to be absolutely nuts. I'm really looking forward to it, actually. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be this crazy, like, volatile trading and swing trading. I think it's going to be absolutely bonkers, to be honest. And the good thing about it is like people will be having to read the charts and get used to it, a bit like the game, right? The game's going to be wild, this up and down charts and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I think it's going to be a really interesting, really exciting launch, particularly for experienced traders.
Mark, tell us a bit more about your 4-token ecosystem. What utilities specifically do each provide with respect to the other and with respect to the overall ecosystem?
Yeah, sure. So the first token I launched was My Music. So Mind Music is the world's first record label powered by crypto. The utility of that is pretty simple. So a percentage of the transaction taxes is collected and goes into what I call the My Music Fund. The My Music Fund pays for recording music and releasing music and signing artists and all the initial costs that the record label needs to kind of do something. And then every single time the record label sells a record, a t-shirt, a gig ticket, whatever it is, then all of those profits are pumped back into the coin. Not all of them, actually. I'll tell you what happens. So 80% of the profits are donated to mental health and suicide prevention charities, because Mind Music is all about mental health awareness and support. 20% of the profits are then used to buy back and burn the token. So let's say, for example, an average release makes about $10,000. You'll see like, $2,000 buyback on the chart, which causes a pump. And then those tokens are burnt, which reduces the liquidity to market cap ratio, as I previously said, because all my tokens use the smart burn. And then 80% goes to charity. So it's kind of a mental health awareness project. We raise money for charity, but there's a lot more things to come with that. I won't go into massive detail, but if you want to check it out, that's the bare bones of it, really. Check it out, mindmusic.finance. Also on mindmusic.finance, on the right-hand side, you'll see an icon that clicks through to BabyMind. Now, BabyMind initially was set up right when we launched My Music, when it was kind of sat there at that 30 to 50,000 market cap, and it was struggling. And the point initially to set it up was a support token to support the main token, as most reward tokens are. And it was just a reward token whereby people that buy, sell, and hold BabyMind earn rewards in My Music. And the concept was it was going to try and help My Music survive. It kind of did that. But BabyMind's come a bit further now. And BabyMind is actually going to be an entire NFT platform. We're actually already started minting the first NFT series. There's a BabyMind minter online. And a percentage of all the NFTs minted through BabyMind is used to buy BabyMind tokens and pair them into liquidity. And there's some other funky things going on with the NFT platform. It's not just going to be, it's going to be an auction as well. So there's an NFT auction house that's being built and all that kind of stuff. So that's BabyMind. Then we've got the next coin in the ecosystem, which is Talentverse, Talent Coin. Talent Coin is effectively going to be the X factor of crypto. We are taking the X factor into crypto and pushing it into the metaverse. People will need to hold Talent Coin to be able to vote for their favorite acts in the contest and progress them up the ladder. We're in the process of building the metaverse for that, which is going to be the first part of the metaverse, which is going to be the talent show. Parabolic's going to power the bookies in there, so people can actually place bets on which singer they think or which talent they think is going to win the talent show. And also, eventually you'll be able to walk out of the TV studio where you're watching the talent show over the road into the Parabolic Casino, play some games, maybe pop over to the BabyMind marketplace, buy some different NFTs, which are clothes and stuff for your avatar that you are in there, or maybe pop into the Mind Record store and buy some music or donate some money to mental health, as well as the mental health counseling services that we're going to have in there. We've got big plans. I could talk about the metaverse and the ecosystem that we're building for hours and hours and hours. We are in the delivery phase at the moment. So we've been going through the tokens one by one, making sure that we deliver what we've promised. So My Music, for all intents and purposes, the utility is done. It's out there. The record label's live. We have released our first single. It did get millions of streams. We did win the UK songwriting contest. That's actually happened. That's real. And the utility is real. So My Music is doing its thing. Crypto Wendy O has promoted it. It's launching its NFTs. They're out now. That's doing its thing. BabyMind is kind of halfway there. We're going to have the NFT marketplace online by the end of next month. Parabolic, its utility is just about to go live this week. And then after that, we're working on building the bootcamp system, which you'll need to look into Talent Coin a bit more to find out about. But the bootcamp system for Talent Coin, where people can actually help select which people make it through to the final shows and stuff. So it's really, really interesting. It all ties together quite nicely. It's kind of like a metaverse just full of entertainment, gambling, music. It's kind of just a fun place to be, really. And that's what we're trying to build overall. But obviously, each token is individually a token in its own right and a project in its own right. They're just going to be tied together in the overall metaverse that we're building at the end, which is only going to further accelerate them.
Yeah, and you touched on the metaverse plans at a high level. Can you tell us more about that development and what it's going to look for your ecosystem, specifically your plans for the Parabolic Casino and how far out that development is as well?
Well, I mean, the reality is for Parabolic Casino, we're probably looking at it's going to be Q2, Q3 next year. By the time we actually get to the point of integrating the Parabolic Casino into the metaverse. You can't have a casino with just one game, right? So we've got one game coming out now. We're going to be starting work immediately on version 2, and we're going to be starting work on our second game. There has to be at least half a dozen games before we can really realistically put a Parabolic Casino in the metaverse. Otherwise, it's a bit silly. And we're expecting the first initial stages of a talent show to happen this year. It's going to be quite a basic metaverse to start with. If you imagine like a Fortnite loading character screen, there'll be that where you can equip your NFTs and customize your avatar. You'll hit the enter button and you'll find yourself kind of sat down in the TV studio in front of a stage watching the talent show. Eventually, as we get on with our development, you'll be able to get up and walk around and eventually walk out the TV studio over the road into the Parabolic Casino. But these are very long-term plans. Building a metaverse, building games, building those things costs an enormous amount of money and takes an enormous amount of time. The most important thing, though, to complete it is that we stay around. Okay, so developing all these utilities and the little NFT projects and things that we do to further enhance us kind of keeps us here and keeps us working towards the goals and keeps everything ticking over. So, we've been around for a long time. We're still here. We will complete everything that we aim to complete. And we're just working towards it, basically. And, we'll get there when we get there. But the most important thing is we won't stop working.
Yeah, Mark, and that's awesome. Tell us more about the Parabolic NFT series. How many are going to be available at Genesis? What will be the minting cost? What sort of utility they're going to provide?
I'm not telling you anything about the NFT series yet because they're in plans at the moment. That they're being done. They've got massive utility. If you look at the Mind Music NFT series, you can see the utility they've got. I'm actually surprised they haven't sold out already, because Mind Music NFTs are just stuffed with so much utility. It's disgusting. Parabolic is going to be exactly the same, but I can tell you the utility is going to be related both to the metaverse and directly to the game, and it is going to make you money just by holding them. So the Parabolic NFTs are going to be amazing. We're working on them now, and it's really, really exciting, but I'm not revealing anything yet because we want to hold something back to kind of get everyone excited a little bit later on down the line.
Well, that's unfortunate because that's where a bulk of my questions were coming from. I was really curious about the NFT line. How can people who are interested get more information at a first come, first serve basis? Also, will they need to be whitelisted in order to mint NFTs? I know you said you can't reveal anything, but I'm trying to squeeze out whatever I can for our audience members.
Yeah, no. When we first launch our NFT series, you will have to be holding back Parabolic token in order to mint them, and there will be a minimum amount of Parabolic token we will require people to hold. We're going to do that because we want to, just like with My Music NFTs, we want to make sure that the core community and the people that have been supporting us a long time get the chance to buy, rather than people just kind of diving in, and taking them away from the community. So there's going to be a requirement for sure where you're going to have to hold Parabolic tokens to purchase the NFTs. But the reality is NFTs, we're 3-4 months out from launching the NFTs. So by the time, because we're doing some quite detailed artwork and stuff for these. So we're just in concept stage at the moment, and we're also trying to work out a few technical issues about how we can program the exciting utilities in that we want, which is also tied to version 2 of the game. So yeah, it all needs to come together. Version 2 goes with the NFTs because we need to do version 2 to make the utility work so yeah, I can't reveal too much, but it's going to be exciting. People who are into NFTs are going to like it.
Mark, let's go back to the staking pools really quick because we touched on those, but I was curious to know what sort of APY they'll offer, if there's a lockup period for each respective pool, and if there's an early withdrawal fee for those that change their mind and want to withdraw before the time period is up.
Sure. Well, there's no change in your mind on withdrawing before the time period's up. It's locked. Once you're in, you're locked. You can't get out until the thing goes down. So we have 3 pools at the moment: a 30-day pool offering 17% APY, which is a 1-month lock. We have a 90-day pool offering 36% APY, which is a 3-month lock, and we have a 180-day pool, which is a 75% APY and a 6-month lock. So they're not like Time Wonderland, but they're pretty good, pretty solid APYs, and they're sustainable as well, more to the point. So
understood. I don't know if we want them to be like Time Wonderland.
Oh no, I've had enough of that thing. Last day of lifetime. The TikTok's ruined.
So Mark, just touching on the bridge really quick, is it specifically for the Parabolic token, or will users be able to bridge other crypto assets as well?
Specifically for Parabolic token, but there's nothing to stop you. For example, if you want to get some BNB to Ethereum, you could buy. I mean, obviously you'll lose taxes and stuff as you do it, but it might work out, the tax on the coin, depending on the prices and everything, might work out less than the gas fees. There's nothing to stop you from buying Parabolic token on BSC, transferring it over to Ethereum, Parabolic, and selling them on the Ethereum chart and getting ETH, right? So there probably will be some people that use it, particularly on the lower gas fees networks like, the AVAX and Phantom and Matic. It's a great way just to port tokens over, and we're absolutely positive. Another thing that's going to help create volume, right? People just wanting an easy, simple solution where they can just port tokens over cross-chain. We can see people doing that for sure.
And Mark, can you tell us about any major partnerships that you currently have going on, or is that also something you need to keep quiet for the time being?
Now we don't have any major partnerships going on. We are establishing ourselves. We are finding our own feet. I mean, to level with you, we're not ready for partnerships right now. We're very much, establishing ourselves as a company and a team. And, we want to get to the stage where we get our own offices, and we've got a few more people working on the core team and everything. So, we're not ready for partnerships now, and we acknowledge that. I'm open to partnerships. I'm open to discussion, sure, but we're not actively looking for any partnerships right now. I mean, the only one that we are in discussion with right now, but it's a long-term discussion, nothing's fixed, is regarding the metaverse. We're contemplating whether to continue down our road of building everything ourselves, or partnering with an existing well-known metaverse and actually building what we need inside theirs. So that is a very kind of long-term outlook at the moment for what we do, because we're just working on building the character equip login screen at the moment, if you like, for the metaverse, which is going to tie in with the NFT equipped and stuff.
And did you have a pre-sale and private sale
for Parabolic?
Correct.
We had a pre-sale. I'm pretty sure Parabolic originally launched on DX Sale back in October 2021. I think we didn't have any private sales, if I remember, or anything on Parabolic. No, it was just a straight DX Sale launch. I think we did a 1,000 BNB pre-sale, sold out in about 10 minutes, if I remember, something like that. It was 1,000 BNB and it sold out in 10 minutes. And I remember it was a 10-minute whitelist. And it went public, and it was gone within about 2 seconds of it going public. So it was literally 10 minutes, and it was 1,200 BNB, I believe.
And what was the maximum contribution per wallet?
2 BNB, I believe.
Got it. Is the project audited? I'm assuming it is, but it's a question I have to ask.
It is. Well, the old version's completely audited. The base contract of the coin is exactly the same as our My Music one, which is audited. So the new ones, we don't actually have an audit badge from that. We are getting everything audited, but it's not going to happen before launch in the next couple of days. We just haven't got time to get it done. So you're going to see, but the contracts have been audited in my other projects. You can go and check tech rate audits. You can check Interfile audits. It's the same contract. So yes, they have been audited, but we don't have the specific badge for this coin yet, but we are going to get it done next week.
And my co-host Glenn had a question. Glenn, go for it.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, it's great to have you back again. For My Music and everything. And you just speak. It's very rare. We have the AMAs where you're just an amazing person, an amazing speaker. That's what I wanted to get out. list. And yeah, I'm just asking about are you looking at an ecosystem between the tokens that you have with the Mind Music and the X Factor sort of side of the new token?
Yeah.
How's it going to work?
So they're all going to tie together in the metaverse. So as I explained, the Talentverse is going to be starting off just sort of in the TV studio kind of environment where you can watch the acts perform on the stage and cast your votes. But Parabolic will tie in because there'll be the Parabolic bookies where you can place your bets on the acts. There'll be the Parabolic Casino where people will change their talent coins for Parabolic Casino coins, which they will play all the Parabolic games. There'll be the Baby Mind NFT marketplace. So it's all, and the Mind Music record store, which will also have a counseling service. So it all ties in through the metaverse. So it's an ecosystem in the sense of they tie together. They're all going to be inside a metaverse, but they're actually their own individual projects that can stand up in their own right on their own. But yes, the Talentverse will tie everything together.
Okay, great, Mark. Yeah, I don't want to sort of blow anyone's horn, but you're one of the best speakers we have in AMAs. I've done 400 AMAs at WorldCoin Talk, and yeah, it's just always exciting to hear you speak. And yeah, you're a really great guy.
Oh, thanks. Cheers.
Yeah, I agree, Mark. You are a fantastic speaker. Makes the AMA go much smoother and very easy back and forth. So I have a community member that had questions, but he had to go to sleep. So he wanted me to take down the questions and then ask on his behalf. So Sayed Rahmat has had a few questions for you. The first one, and I'm going to read it off. On your white paper, I have read that at the beginning of each round, players will place bets by depositing the amount of Parabolic token they wish to gamble. I want to know what will be the minimum maximum limit on bets players will be able to place. Like, I guess you already answered that question.
I have, yeah. Do you want me to answer it again?
No, it's okay. And I had just seen them right now, so I didn't proofread them. Will there be a limit on the number of players that can participate in the Parabolic betting game?
Nope. As many as you like.
Yep, go for it.
No, as many players as you want can play. There's no limit on the number of players. The only thing that we're limited by is our game liquidity, right? So if, for example, if the maximum bet's going to be limited by our game liquidity, that's it. That's the only restriction.
We also have the because we're trying to make it interactive as well. So people will be able to chat to one another. Can you talk about that a little bit as well, Mark, just so that people get a...
Yeah, I mean, there's a chat feature. I mean, what I recommend doing, although it's a little bit out of date, go and watch the demo video. I don't know if that's been shared, but you can see we have a chat window on the left so people can talk about their games and share their experiences, because effectively everybody's playing the same game. So it's like a round. So you can have 100 people and they're all watching the same chart, although they're not playing against each other in version 1. But version 2, when we kind of bring the player versus player aspect to it, and we'd start doing tournaments and stuff where the person that cashes out the most, and we can do all kinds of fun stuff. That will give it a slightly different spin.
Yeah, we'll have leaderboards and things like that as well for people. So that
leaderboards and extra prizes and things. Yeah.
So his final question was regarding the 12%, 50%, 75%, and 100% of the bet that players will be able to cash out. He was curious to know if these are specific percentages that players must cash out at, or if they can cash out at any percentage in between.
No, they're specific. So during the gameplay, you can do 25, 50, 75, or 100. And you can kind of hit 25 and then you can hit the 7 to cash out the rest 75, or you can hit 50 and then do the other 50. So yeah, they're specific set percentages. I mean, programming, adjustable variables, maybe something we can look at for version 2, but right now it's just set percentages.
And Mark, before I start jumping into some of my closing questions, is there anything that I haven't asked about that you would like to discuss?
Oh, I don't think so, mate. I think we've had a pretty good go around. Let me just check my notes and see. I think we've gone pretty much over everything. I mean, the only thing I can say is just repeat again, there is a competition, guys, where you can win $1,000 worth of Parabolic on our Gleam competition. If you want to find out that, I don't know if it's going to be shared in the chat, or if not, pop over to our Parabolic Telegram and you can get the details for that. If you didn't get your chance to answer your question or speak to me today for whatever reason, we have an immense AMA schedule lined up. We've got 3 tomorrow: Golem's Gems, Rug Free House, and Venom's Calls. So, you know, there's loads of AMAs, and you have plenty of opportunities to ask me a question if you do miss today. We've got a fully packed schedule, and that's about it, really. I think we pretty much covered everything about the project, to be honest. It's been a good chat.
Yeah, Mark, to be fair, I had about 10 questions regarding your Parabolic NFT series. So you kind of shut that down and I wasn't able to ask any of them. So maybe in the future, when you're able to reveal more, you come back and do another AMA with us, and I'll
absolutely
get more info about that. That sounds really exciting. You know, it sounds like you have worked on quite a few projects. It sounds like you've done quite a bit in the crypto space, and I'm assuming you had a lucrative career outside of the crypto space as well. What are some learning lessons, some failures specifically, or some pain points that you have experienced and learned from and are applying to Parabolic Token to make sure that it goes as smoothly as successful as possible?
But every day in crypto space, I'm just learning more and more and more. And, you know, from one of the biggest things I've learned is starting to how to avoid scammers. The amount of scammers is just absolutely mind blowing. And every day in the crypto space is new. I'm constantly learning things. And I you know, just about security and, you know, I mean, I don't trust anybody with anything. I just can't, you know, after my experience in crypto, I don't trust anybody. It's quite sad, really. But you know, and time, you know, just sticking at things and showing determination and just being around all the time and making sure that if there is something going wrong, you be transparent about it. You tell your community about it immediately, because before, you know, I'd get problems and I'd be like, oh, I don't want to tell people that it's all gone wrong. So I'd be running around behind the scenes, trying to fix a problem. And actually, you know, if I'd have just come forward and said to the community, look, guys, we've got this problem, this is going to happen right at the very beginning, it would have made my life so much easier. So now, if anything ever goes wrong or there's ever any problems, I just like to jump straight in the chat and just be like, right, guys, this is a mess up. This has gone wrong, and we're going to try and fix it like this. And I found that just being open and transparent with the community has really, 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 you know, been a great lesson for me, and something that, you know, I intend to keep going on with the future. And just being around and just showing grit and determination and just never giving up, you know, because so many projects just like, oh, well, you know, the launch wasn't very good, so we're just not going to build it. Well, that's not really very fair, is it? You know, you know, I could have given up on my music when it went down to $32,000 and thought, well, I'm never going to be able to build my record label with the money I've got in my marketing wallet, so I'm just going to walk away. But I didn't. I fought and I fought and I fought. And, you know, the people that were there at the beginning saw that thing rise from 32,000 to 1.8 million. And it was an astonishing thing. And there's some people that are there now that still haven't sold a single token, and they're still holding now. You know, we're at like 1.4 mil or whatever. So, you know, just community and support, and I've learned lots of things. I mean, I couldn't even list them. It's just every day is a lesson in this space, every single day. I mean, I've learned that there's a lot of JEETs in BSC, that's for sure. And I'm looking forward to launching our first project, multi-chain, and seeing what that brings. So, like I say, every day is a lesson.
Yeah, Mark, I couldn't have said any of that better myself. So beautifully put. I had a few more questions that I'm circling back to now. One is regarding the bridge. I'm curious to know if you guys have put it through a stress test, tried to put in a lot of transactions and see if it's stable and robust.
Yeah, we have. I mean, it's been something that's been built. I mean, our dev that's building it, like there's a guy called Utku from Dapbrex, very well-known and respected dev. He's been stress testing it day and night for weeks and weeks and weeks. So yeah, it's been through the mill, you know, and it's had its. We feel pretty confident that it's going to be fine.
Awesome, and we are closing in on the end of the AMA here, but we have had a lot of audience members that have joined a bit late. Mark, before we say goodbye, could you give us a quick summary of who you are, what you've built, what you are currently building, and why people should consider investing into your project?
Sure. Well, listen, you know, I think that investing in any project in BSC isn't actually ultimately about the coin name or what they're building. It's about you invest in people, right? Because there's so much scams and so much nonsense in the BSC space. What's more important than anything is to believe in the team that you're investing in. If you believe and you trust the team and you believe that the people you're investing in are going to deliver what you promised, then yes, you can make bad decisions. You can invest in things that don't work out, but at least it's your decision and you're not having those things ripped away from you by people scamming you. So we are a trusted team of developers. We've been around for a long time, you know, and I think that is something that's really, really, really important when you're choosing to invest. Now, Parabolic, I said at the beginning of the AMA, is something that's been in the works for over a year now from initial idea, and we've been building the game for over 6 months. We've been working for months on our cross-chain bridge, and you know, there's some really, really, really exciting stuff coming up. We're going to be launching, you know, our token has the same contract address on all chains. We are already listed on CoinMarketCap, all the contract addresses before we even launch. How about that? We've got a launch simulation game coming out a few days after launch, which is really exciting. We've got a tier 2 centralized exchange coming out 7 to 10 days after the game. We've got AMAs all over the place with some of the biggest and best over the next few days. I mean, Parabolic is definitely one to watch, guys, and it's exciting. And if you believe in me, if you believe in what I'm talking about and you think that I'm going to deliver, then obviously do your own research. But, you know, I just want you all to know that Parabolic and any of my projects, My Music, Baby Mind, are safe places. They're safe havens where you can invest your money. And one thing you know about it is that I'm going to deliver. I've delivered on everything that I've ever promised anyone since I've been in this space, and I will deliver. I'm like a kind of pit bull. They get hold of something, I just have to finish it. And everyone is always free to buy and sell their tokens whenever they choose. It's your money, your investment, and ultimately your choices. I don't think there's anything else I can really say. Check out parabolictoken.com.
Yeah, everyone. www.parabolictoken.com. Engage with their Twitter, their Telegram. Mark seems very transparent. Ask away. Ooh, I see one hand up. Actually, let me go to this community question. Pimp is the person raising their hand, so go for it. I think you need to unmute your mic, and if not, then we can just close things out. Again, engage their Twitter, their Telegram. Mark is very transparent. Seems like he's very open to answering any and all questions. Mark, hey, what's going on?
I'm sorry to ask you, man, but what's up with the first contract of Parabolic? We got dumped after 3 days.
No, nothing's up with it. It wasn't actually 3 days. It lasted a bit longer than that. It's just kind of the BSC space. People ride the thing. We had one whale dumped about 130 B&B in one cell, and it just kept on going down and down and down. And if you look at, you know, a lot of launches in BSC space, that's what happens. And it's taken us, while people have been doing that, we've been developing the project as we promised and building our game. And, you know, we're now at the stage where we're going to launch multi-chain with our game. So, you know, like I said, people can buy and sell when they choose. We don't hold a gun to people's head and say you must hold tokens. We don't put stupidly high sell taxes and hold people's money hostage. You know, people made a choice to sell, and that was their choice to sell. And, you know, people were...
3 days is 3 days, man. And if you look,
it wasn't 3 days, mate. It was longer than 3 days.
I'm looking at the chart. It's released on 1st October.
Well, look, like I said, you know, we're talking about something that 6 months ago, you know, 3 days, 4 days, a week, however long it lasted, we promoted that coin absolutely everywhere. It did do a 10 to 11x. A lot of people made a lot of money. Some people decided to take a lot of profits. And what happened is we had one person, he sold about 130, 140 B&B, and it caused a bit of a panic sell dump. I mean, it happens, you know. I mean, all I can tell you is it's got nothing to do with us. We got nothing to do with people buying and selling their tokens. All we can do is say, look, we're building a project here. We're building a game. You can choose to invest or you can choose to sell. And some people chose to sell. And, you know, that's what happened. And that's crypto. And it happens all the time. You know, I don't know what else you want me to say, really. I mean, you know, okay. Is what it is.
Thank you, man.
No worries.
Cool. And we got a hand up from Stu Man. Stu Man, go for it.
Hi, Mark.
Remember to unmute your mic and ask your question.
Thanks very much, mate. Hi,
Yep.
Mark. I've got
Hey,
a
man.
quick
How's it going?
question. How you doing,
Sure.
mate? Yeah,
Yeah, good,
I've got a
thanks.
quick one. So on the NFTs for Mind Music, Baby Mind,
Yeah.
we've got. I was actually. I just want to say I minted a legendary token literally a couple of hours ago, which I'm absolutely
wow.
delighted
Okay.
about. So I'm really happy about that. But I've just a couple of things I wanted to actually just double check. So on the website it says NFT holders will receive a share of all traded transactions volume in
Yeah.
Mind Music tokens. Every
That's
time
right.
an NFT is sold through a trading platform, a 10% fee is collected by the smart contract. This 10% fee is then used to purchase Mind Music token and automatically distributed to all NFT holders. So
Yeah.
I've got a quick question. Does that apply only to the founder series, or does that apply to all NFTs that will ever be minted or created for the Talentverse?
Well, every single NFT collection that we build is going to be unique and have its own perks and benefits. So I can't really say, because we haven't finished another NFT collection yet, whether it's going to be exactly the same. But I mean, for example, I'll give you one leak about the Parabolic NFTs. All I'm going to say to you is that people that hold Parabolic NFTs will benefit from the game. You know, people the house edge. Okay, let's leave it like that. So there's, every single NFT that we build will have benefits to holding. We want all of our coins and all of our NFTs and everything that we build to give people benefits for holding. We're putting on the staking platforms, the APY, all that kind of stuff, because we want everyone to benefit. Like, the previous question was, we don't have 100% control over everything. We've just got to keep pushing and keep making you guys believe that we're going to deliver everything that we say we are. And at the end of the day, if we all hold, we all win, right? We're here, we're working hard. We've spent 6 months on the game. We've spent months on the bridge. We've been in this space for over a year. I launched my first token in June. We're here and we're working on it, guys. So, you make your choices, what you want to do with your money. The hype is there for Parabolic. It's real. We did do a 10x on the first launch. And, we think we're going to go a lot further this time. So I think that's about it, really.
Appreciate that. Thanks very much, mate.
No worries. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Thank you, Mark. Sizzle is going to be the final investor question of the AMA, and then we'll wrap things up.
No worries.
Sizzle, unmute your mic and ask your question. All right. Well, we're going to wrap things up, and I want to be cognizant of Mark's time. Mark, we really appreciate you being here today. It was lovely talking to you. You're very thorough. It sounds like you worked a lot in the crypto space, and you've done a lot of great things. Just to our audience members, please remember, this is building off what Mark was just saying. Whale Coin Talk is an educational channel. We are not giving investment advice. Always do your own research. Always invest what you're willing to lose. Mark has been very transparent. And if you like any questions you might have regarding this project, he's more than happy to answer in their Telegram. Again, this is Parabolic Token. Their website is www.parabolictoken.com. Engage with their Twitter, with their Telegram, ask questions. Mark, again, thank you for being here, and I wish you the best of luck.
No worries. Thank you very much. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Cheers.